Today we're looking at the causes of the seasons. There are two fundamental reasons for the seasons. The first is that the Earth's axis is tilted at 23.5 degrees. The second is that the Earth revolves or orbits around the Sun. I prefer the word orbit because it's in common usage, but many textbooks use the word revolve. This diagram is clearly not to scale. The Earth is far too big relative to the Earth's orbit, and I've left the Sun out altogether for the same sort of reasons. Right, so let's just see what happens as the Earth goes around the Sun. You notice the axis stays at the same angle all the way, and the net result is that first the northern hemisphere and then the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the Sun. From our perspective on Earth, that of course means that the Sun from season to season moves higher and lower in the sky. Looking a little more detail, I've drawn the diagram now with the plane of the equator on, and there is the orbit. So on March the 22nd is the equinox, the Sun is overhead at the equator. By June the 21st, the Sun has moved so that it's overhead in North Africa, Florida in the United States, northern Mexico. That line is the Tropic of Cancer, which is the northernmost line that the Sun gets overhead, in other words 23.5 degrees north. Moving on to the next equinox. The Earth is now neither tilted towards or away from the Sun, and once again the Sun will be overhead the equator, which of course is September the 22nd, the equinox. Moving on to December. In December, the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the Sun, the northern hemisphere away. And just note that at this time, which is the solstice, the northern hemisphere is tilted so far away that if the Sun's rays are coming in here, then from there onwards is in darkness. So the pole, in fact from 66.5 degrees north, everything is in darkness for at least 24 hours. The pole itself is in darkness for 6 months. Likewise, the South Pole is in daylight for 6 months, and the area inside 66.5 degrees south has at least 24 hours of continuous light. And so we move on then. There is the December 21st Sun's ray overhead the Tropic of Capricorn, and we move on then to our starting point in March, back to the March. Right, reminding ourselves then, March 20th equinox, Sun is overhead the equator, northern spring, southern autumn. Then June the 20th solstice, northern summer, southern winter. September 22nd equinox, northern autumn, southern spring. And December 21st solstice, southern summer, northern winter.